Fees when buying and selling sports cards can really add up. If you're international, you already know the struggle. Import fees, taxes, and shipping when buying and selling sports cards kill everything but basically the biggest deals with high value cards. But even if you live in the US, which I'm sure a lot of my viewers do, let's say you live in a state like California, like me. Sales tax is around 10%. So if you buy a card for $1,000, you're already looking at about $1,100 minimum for what you're actually gonna have to shell out for that card. Then if you turn around and try to sell it on eBay, you're gonna lose another 13% to eBay fees. So on that card that was worth $1,000 when you bought it, you're gonna need it to raise 30%, hit $1,300 for you to even just break even when you're taking into account sales tax and eBay fees. But those of you guys who have been in the game for a while don't need me to explain that. You know that fees are a big problem and something that really hurts if you're trying to make a profit when you're buying and selling sports cards. But as much as we all like to complain about the new people coming in, ruining the hobby, there is bad stuff that's coming with the hype of the hobby. But also at the same time, I think there's been some good stuff. Undoubtedly, there's been a lot of revolution, innovation, a bunch of new companies coming into the space to help fix problems like these. And I think there's 4 great options right now in PWCC, Starstock, Alt, and Shipmycards, who can help you when you're buying and selling cards with a vault and exchange service. But out of those 4, which one should you be using? Well, my name is Troy. In today's video, I'm gonna help answer that question so you can spend more of your money on sports cards and not be spending so much on fees. Real quick disclaimer before I get into it though, I did do a really cool video with Alt where I went there and looked at some of their high value cards, and I do have friends who work there. I have a relationship with Starstock as well. They've done some sponsored videos in the past, and I've been a longtime customer of PWCC. So if anything, I like to think that my bias is kind of spread out. But if anyone's watched the channel for a while, you know I keep it real, I tell you what I think, and I'm gonna be unbiased today. So let's start with Alt and talk about what they have going for them. Right off the bat, they make the claim very often in their marketing material, they have the lowest fees in the game, 1.5%. Now people might already be saying, no, my slab's 1%. And that is true, my fees does charge a 1% fee on their end, but they also have PayPal. So that takes 3% out there as well. So it's gonna be a total of 4%. On Alt, it's directly through your bank account. So the only fee you have to pay is that 1.5% if you're selling through their exchange. So that's in terms of selling. In terms of submitting to them, right now, nothing. Not costing you anything to send them graded cards. They process them all for you. And their turnaround lately has been same day. Like my card will be delivered in literally the same day. It'll all be uploaded and good to go in my portfolio there. They also do accept raw cards. It's gonna be a $5 fee per card, which is competitive, I guess. It makes sense in certain situations. I'll show you in a second. Probably not a place I'd really be sending raw cards. I don't think that's what they're looking to do or what the platform is really built for. And there's more I want to say about Alt, but let's actually show you guys the platform because I think that's the best way to for you to learn about it. So right off the bat, you see here the portfolio value. They have this nice little graph here. And then boom, they have all your assets as they call it. And one thing I gotta say real quick too, this is a really dumb thing, but it might be my favorite part of the Alt platform. I love their scans. Like how they look is just incredible. And you get these right here and you can just save them as JPEGs. And then if you end up wanting to sell on eBay or you just want a picture of your card, you have it right here. These are the highest quality scans I've ever seen. This may sound like kind of a small thing to people, but I guess at least to me it matters. So when you come in here, you can see all your cards. These are all cards that I had shipped directly to the Alt Vault. We have these prisms, we have some Josh Green here, we have a raw card that I sent. And even these cards right here, I actually have already sent some of these cards home, like this Prism Neymar that you've already seen, and they keep it here forever. So you have that history, and I haven't dug too deep into the kind of collection management aspect, but I know that's something that they want to do. A lot of people like myself do it on a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet. They want to create a product where you can kind of manage your whole collection in one place. They also have, as you can see, one thing the value. This value right here is Alt value. This is, if my understanding is, it's some sort of algorithm or something that they have where they determine the value of it. And let me say this, I promise I'm gonna be honest. I'll be honest with Alt right now. It works well on some cards and it does not work well on others. We'll just look off the top here. I mean, I'm not expecting them to be soccer experts, but Iniesta Silver Prism, $80. And you click on it, and so they have the auction values here. Based on this, kind of makes sense, I guess. I mean, I bought this for $110, so they're not too far off. I'll give them that. I would say it's worth more than that. But then you go down, why is this Benzema $25? Because I bought this for I bought it for 102, and I think this is the only recent comp, but I'd just be very interested how they got to that number right there. So, and even more, it may be those ones are not user error, but you even go to a big card, Messi Mega Cracks that I have right here, it's showing $1,400. That's certainly wrong. It works really well on cards that are frequently traded, like Luka Doncic Prism Silver PSA 10. This is a pretty accurate value that they have right here. So it can be good in some circumstances, but it's always going to be hard with cards that aren't comped too often. So I've always been curious, how can you really find that exact value? But I know they're refining it. I don't want to say they're in beta, but they're still working on things. So I'll be interested to see what happens with that in the future. So the alt value is somewhat helpful. I guess it's better than not having it, but I would say I think it's fair to say it's pretty inaccurate at this point, at least in my experience. Real quick, let's check out the exchange as well. You go through here, they have cards available. They have some nice cards on here, especially, let's see if we can even put, highest price first. If you're looking for, look at this, Giannis Gold, Tom Brady. I'm not sure too many people maybe who are watching this have 250K to just drop on a card, but they do have some really nice stuff available on the exchange. Some rare cards you maybe wouldn't see. I guess if you're big game hunters, maybe the word, there's stuff for you to find here. I think that's pretty cool how they have some really nice cards available. Not everything is so expensive though. If we go to, I found some really good deals on soccer cards, like that's where I found that Neymar. Maybe let's even put this lowest first. Look at $25. I know none of these are amazing deals, but okay, Jadon Sancho. So they have some stuff on here that's pretty cool, that's more affordable. And it's a nice exchange. They have a good variety. I wouldn't say they have the most available on here. That would definitely be one con that they're still building up this exchange. My understanding, once again, it's just my understanding. I don't think there's too many people actively buying and selling on here right now. That's one con as well. I haven't actually tried to sell anything yet, but I can't imagine it would move too quickly. So that's something you have to keep in mind with the exchange. And also, you can't send cards to auction or sell on eBay like some of these other platforms we'll get later. You can send them home and do whatever you want, but I don't think you can run an auction, and you just won't get the eyes on it that you'd have on an eBay, or even at this point, to be honest, I think a My Slabs or a Starstock. But all that being said, this is a new platform, this is a new company, and they're actively trying to get people on here, actively trying to improve, and I think they're doing some really good things right now. And they actually have an incredible offer for us to do today. If you sign up using my link in the description, you're gonna get $50 free to spend on the exchange. That's it, no strings. You sign up. I believe you have to link your bank account, but I would get $50 so you support the channel, and you guys get $50 as well. So from a buying perspective, the vaulting, I'm very impressed with the vaulting. In terms of buying and selling on the exchange, I want to kind of reserve judgment. But once again, with that $50, it's free money. I don't know how to say besides that. I think it's definitely at least worth a try to check it out. So check out that link in the description. But all right, that's enough vault. Let's move on to Starstock. Number 2, what are the pros of using a place like Starstock? The first is it's the best place for flipping, hands down in my mind. I've done a whole series about it. Other people have talked about it. Northeast Ohio Sports Cards. There's some other smaller YouTubers that have whole series. My friends. You can start off with $20 and legitimately flip your way up to $100, something great. People have done it. It's easier said than done, but people can do it. And Starstock, I think that's how they started. That's kind of what they anticipated. It's Starstock, people moving in and out of things. And there's a lot of opportunity with that. It's also the best place to submit raw cards, especially in good condition. You can't send them to alt. I guess you could send them to PWCC. I think they run auctions on raw cards, but it's definitely not something I would recommend. You could do ComC as well, but their processing times seem like really long, and there's a lot of stuff going. I don't know. For raw cards, especially new stuff, and raw condition, people were sending in Prism base cards and getting $50 each when they got a Starstock A at the beginning of last season. I didn't even mention eBay. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Good luck selling raw cards on eBay. Fees, returns, shipping for individual cards, I just completely stay away. If I had a bunch of good condition, newer cards that for whatever reason I didn't want to get graded, I would definitely look to Starstock. I think that's a great place to send them. And they also have fairly low fees, 5%, and because of the instantaneous nature of the platform and the fact that you can flip and you don't have to deal with shipping, I've seen people command really strong prices going on there. And we're on the website now. They have a really nice interface. If you've been here at all on my channel, you know the kind of stuff they have on here. Let's go to basketball cards. You look here, and they have a pretty nice collection. You know, PSA 10, McCall Bridges, you can get a PSA 9, PSA 10 available. Starstock A, boom. You don't have to deal with shipping, taxes, anything. It's all just here. Even Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, I've really been impressed. They started off with more with just the Starstock A, but they've really made a push to acquire more of these graded cards, and I think they've done a great job. Even LaMelo Ball, PSA 9, 165, interesting. You know, they've got some good stuff on here. In terms of the cons, though, I do have to say they don't have the most like big cards on here. Like for instance, let's say you want to invest in LeBron. Let's see what they have available for LeBron right now. Okay, actually, they have a PSA 9. They don't have any. They have them in the vault, but they're not available. They have a PSA 8, PSA 9, PSA 9. So they actually have more than they had before. But you can see here, it's just kind of limited. And even this right here, look at how much he's asking for. You can get that on eBay for, or off eBay, especially for like $800 right now. So the selection is solid, but honestly, at times, I have some Starstock credit and I've kind of struggled to find things to even spend my money on. So they have a solid selection, but I think they're, but once again, they're making a push to acquire more and more graded cards. So I think this will grow in the future. But as of now, they don't have everything you're looking for. Like I think LeBron cards that you're able to invest in is kind of a minimum thing that they should have more of available on here. They also have your collection right here, so you can see what you have. I don't have too much in here right now, but the tough thing is there's no vaulting service. So PWCC, Alt, some of these other places, they function as more of a vault. You can buy cards and send them directly there. I guess hypothetically you could do that with Starstock, and I'm sure they would process them, but that's not what this is built for. You can't ship home internationally or do any of these type of things. It's more focused on the exchange. And I think they do that very well, and there's opportunity there, but it's not gonna work as a place for you to save on fees in terms of buying cards on other platforms and shipping them to them. I have sold some graded cards on here, and typically they move fairly quickly. I mean, they have the offers, so you can accept at least a little bit of money at any point. So I think that's good. I think there's a lot of positives, but once again, not having the vault, I know it's kind of harsh to grade them on that because that's not really what they're trying to do. But if you're looking for like a one-stop shop type of deal, that's something you have to at least consider. But I think if you're a beginner or somewhere with a lower budget, I think Starstock is a great place. You can really build up. You don't have to deal with the shipping and the taxes and everything. So I think it's especially great for those type of people. And we have a promo code again. I have to at least throw it in because it does help a lot of people legitimately. Sign up for Starstock, deposit at least $10 using my code TRIKE415, and they will match it with another $10. So boom, right off the bat, $20 to get you going. So something to at least consider if you're considering Starstock. Next up is probably the biggest name in this space, the PWCC Vault. They have a long history of being the top vault in the business. They have a professionally secured, like armored physical location where they really are protecting your cards. I'm sure everyone's heard of PWCC auctions on eBay. I think those are a great option to move cards, especially for international people. I know international people who have bought and used cards basically purely through PWCC. They've bought the card, they send it to PWCC, they leave it there, and then when they feel like it's time to sell, they tell PWCC to put it up on auction. And these auctions are through eBay, so you're getting a ton of eyes on it. To be fair, more eyes. If you send to a PWCC auction, you will get more eyes on your card than you would using Alt or Starstock. That's just a fact. Generally command pretty strong prices, and you're only gonna pay an 8% fee if your card is over $5,000 on that eBay sale, so that's not too bad. In terms of the vault, their fees are kind of high, I'd say. For raw cards, it's $10 each. So outside of the most expensive raw cards, it's just not going to make sense for you to send them to the PWCC vault. It's not going to save you anything. Graded cards are $2, which is not too bad at all. But I mentioned at the top, I'm a longtime customer of PWCC, but in all transparency, I've kind of stopped using their vault because of their extremely slow processing times. I won an auction. I bought some Bruno Fernandes, some Messi, some cards from the PWCC auction. So their cards, it's already in their vault. All they had to do was transfer the ownership to my vault, and that took over a week. Not to mention if I buy cards and send it to them, processing times have been as long as 2 weeks for those cards to show up in my account. If we look here on their interface, it's not bad. I don't currently have any vault stuff in the vault right now, but it would show up here. You can request to ship it home. In fairness, they usually do this, look updated July 3rd. Usually they're able to get it out within a day, which is really good in terms of shipping cards out. The scans are pretty good, not quite as good as alt, and I don't even think you can just save them as JPEGs, which is a little annoying. Like in the past, I've had to screenshot them, which I didn't like. I think in terms of the marketplace, if I'm not mistaken, all this stuff is only on eBay. So I don't think they have their own. Well, actually, no, I know they're setting up a golden auctions type thing for high-end cards, but I do not believe PWCC has an auction or a place to sell $50, $75. Just list them up and see if someone buys them besides eBay. It seems like they're definitely more catered towards high-end cards, buying them, sending them to the vault, securing them, and then selling them through their eBay auction. So if you're selling big money cards, I think PWCC is a great place. Low fees, you're going to get a lot of eyes on it on eBay. You have to pay that $2 graded fee, which hurts compared to other places. I don't think Starstock, real quick, has any graded processing fees right now. So that could add up on lower cards. But if you're sending them an expensive card, it's not too bad. It kind of works out perfectly. You know it's secure, and you know it's going to get on eBay and get a lot of eyes on it. Even those processing times maybe don't matter as much because you're probably not quick flipping $20,000 cards. Myself personally, I deal much more often in the $100, $200 card area, which is I'm sure is similar to a lot of you guys who are watching. And I just have not found PWCC great for that because of the slow processing time, the fees they have, and the fact that I can't sell it on there. Like PWCC auctions, if you're selling like an $100 card, I'll say this, don't sell it through PWCC. As a buyer, it's great. I found crazy steals on these cheap cards, but in terms of as a seller, a lot of this stuff, just slips through the cracks because everyone's looking at those big cards. They also have monthly storage fees, something I forgot to mention, which is not great. So if you're looking to use this as a place where they manage your cards, manage your portfolio, once again, if it's huge cards, it's probably fine, but those fees are really going to add up. If, for instance, you're living internationally and you want them just to kind of hold your cards, I'm not sure that's great. But when I talk to international people, they don't usually use PWCC. They actually use more of the last thing I'm going to take a look at, and that is Shipmycards. I'll get through this one quick because I haven't personally used Shipmycards much. First, they have the best international shipping fees from what I've heard. The base price is around $30, and then there's a minimal fee if you're adding more cards in there. They have fairly quick processing times, which I think is good, and it's going to cost you only $2 for raw cards to process. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the best in the game, and $5 for a bulk lot of cards. And one more pro for Shipmycards, unlimited storage time. And I think that's one of the reasons I care about a ton of international people who basically just conduct their business through Shipmycards. They send cards there, and if they sell them, they just ship them right out from there. Their cards never even have to leave the US. Cons, they have a small team. Their product does not come across as the most professional. I mean, you go on the website, there's not even any information here. It just says sign in. I was looking for their fees and I can't even find it. I had to get it from like someone's review article. They should have that information right here, something to appeal to potential new customers. I don't know why I obsess over the pictures and scans so much, but it's something that matters to me, I guess. They're not even scans, it's pictures. They look like they were taken on a Nokia. Does not look good at all, especially with raw cards. Some of them are like taken at an angle. I'm not even sure you could upload that to eBay if you wanted to sell. It's a small thing, but it just kind of goes with that professionalism thing I mentioned. They have no exchange or auction option at all. So if you want to sell a card, you're going to have to find a way to do it yourself, whether it be eBay, Instagram, or just through other people. And they also have multiple vaults. I don't really know how that works, but If you buy an expensive card, I think you're supposed to send it to Oregon and then they send it to Arizona. So I think that would add some time to how long you're waiting for cards. If you want a deeper dive, check out my guy Card Hours video. He really gets into it. But once again, my understanding is if you're an international buyer, the best place to kind of consolidate is Shipmycards. But I'd be curious to hear what people who do this frequently actually think as well. So those are the 4. What's the verdict? Which one is the best? What is the best vault/exchange you can do your business with? I swear I'm not just trying to cop out of making a decision here. I think it actually depends what you want to do. If you want a quick flip, if you're an international buyer, if you're a high-end buyer, if you're someone who's just really looking to save on fees or wants a place to manage your collection, I think all of these are great for different things. But I hope I did a good job of laying out the pros and cons so you know, based on what you're trying to do, based on the value of your cards, based on where you live, you can make the right decision for yourself. Once again, check out the links in the description if you're trying to sign up for any of these, where to keep the videos coming, and see you next time.